USF1 coming at you next with the Lenovo Japanese Grand Prix.
Welcome to the United States of Formula One. Nicky.
And this is Cookie.
We are round 3, Japan. Lots of things happening.
Okay, hitting the Japanese Grand Prix.
Yes.
The Suzuka circuit.
Yes.
Sponsored by Lenovo.
Let's look at the track.
Okay, let's take a peek at this track. So we are looking at 53 laps.
53.
Right in line with where we've been in the first two. We had 57, 56 laps. This one, 1987, was the first running in the Suzuka circuit.
So this track's been around for quite some time.
What are your thoughts on this track? So everybody knows still that I'm new to Formula One.
It's funky, but
Explain.
I like it.
Look at that little, what's with this snaky wiggle worm right there? Beep, boop, 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 boop.
And there's a tunnel. So there's a tunnel.
Oh, there is?
Yes, so it goes underneath itself.
That reminds me of like the antique cars at like Busch Gardens or Cedar Point.
Yeah.
When you kind of go into the tunnel. No? Just me? Just me?
So it's gonna be a great track. Is it your first time seeing this track?
This will be
again?
my first time. First time Australia, first time China, first time Japan. Once we get a little later in the season here, I think maybe late April is when I picked up last year. Then we'll be set from there.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton, track record. Will that fastest lap be broken this year?
I'm gonna say no.
Why?
Maybe Lewis Hamilton breaks it himself.
So
it's just the same name goes on there?
Maybe. I guess that doesn't count then. It's not broken. It just stays the same guy and gets better.
So before we get into the crazy breaking news that everybody knows about in F1, Toto Wolff, third consecutive year that he is not going to be at the Japan Grand Prix.
Why?
I have no idea.
You know.
I think he has a mistress or something. I have no idea.
Is that your speculation?
No, it's just I have no idea. So, and also breaking on all social media for Red Bull, they changed it from their blue and red to white and red. So I think, I'm just throwing it out there. I think that they're going to bring a white Red Bull car as a white livery, white and red to signify Honda.
Now, that's the one they're going to race in?
I think that's the one they're going to race in this week.
So you think they're going to bring, it's almost like an alternate jersey for a football squad.
Yep. So back in 21, they had this car that they were supposed to use. Because of COVID, the race was canceled, so they didn't use it. So I think, since it's the last year with Honda, I think that's going to be like their salute to Honda.
Is it going to look more like the V
Baby
car?
Bulls? I don't think so. I think that they'll make sure that it is much different, so you can tell the difference on the track.
Well, I think they have to do a huge ode to Honda.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
I mean, this is the news.
Yeah.
This is the biggest news of the F1 season so far, potentially the entire season, depending what happens. It goes back to last year.
Yes.
You and I knew, and a lot of people knew, about Perez. He was struggling with Red Bull. We knew Perez was going to go down. Then it kind of became, who's going to take his spot with Red Bull? Who can handle that number 2 seat next to Max Verstappen?
Yep.
You said Liam Lawson.
I did say Liam Lawson.
I said Yuki Tsunoda.
Yep.
You were right.
And
now
you were right.
It's insanity.
Yes.
So Lawson has what, 2 races?
2 races. And I think that it's very unfair.
So you find that unfair.
One of the races was in the rain. So it's really, and you can't, I mean, you got the sprint race in there, yes. But I kind of don't even count that.
No,
race.
that's more of a practice.
You got 2 races, one in the rain, trying to figure that car out. He's never raced either one of those tracks. So to kick him out after 2 races, I think it's a little...
I understand the rain. I understand, but here's my reasoning. I think it's crazy to be a knee-jerk after 2 races. If he didn't come out in the media, in those post-race interviews, and sound panicked.
Okay.
I mean, when you're an elite athlete, you can't show your colors. You can't show fear. And he said, I need more time, but I know it. And then he catches himself, but I know there's no time. He just doesn't feel comfortable. He doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been in that number 2 next to Verstappen hasn't been comfortable. I don't think Yuki's going to be comfortable. How do you think Yuki's going to do in his first race? Obviously, it's his home track. He's Japanese. It's in Japan. It's the perfect story. We'll get into Honda a little bit.
To me, I think it could be, I want him to do well, but I think that it could be almost an embarrassment if he does terrible. Because now you're at your home track in Japan, and you crash out because that car is so hard to drive. So I think a win for Yuki and Honda and Japan is for him just to finish that race. Even if it's in 20th, as long as he, I think
just
as long
to
as
finish.
he crosses the finish line.
Okay.
I think that's a huge win for them.
I was going to say a win was to finish in the points, but you're saying
I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that car's way too hard to drive.
And he has no experience. He's got tons of experience in the V-carb.
Yes.
And Lawson has experience in the V-carb. So I want to jump right to this.
Yeah.
Quick, and let's flip it the other way. So now we know, here's our new setup.
Sweaters.
Now we got Yuki in the Red Bull car. Who finishes?
Ahead of who?
Ahead of whom?
I say Liam Lawson finishes ahead of Tsunoda.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't want to say that, but I think Lawson's going to get back into a comfortable car.
Well, he had no testing. He wasn't able to test. Tsunoda wasn't able to test that car.
Yeah.
So he's basically
It's going to be all instinct.
just going to be jumping in it in practice.
Yeah.
And you got 3 practices to wrangle that car in before qualifying. I think it would be a Cinderella story. I just don't see it.
I'm pulling for Yuki.
Yeah.
I love Yuki. I love V-carb.
Yeah.
I love Hajar. I want him to do well. I hope he finishes in the points.
Yeah. You're a huge Baby Bowl fan.
Yes.
So now Lawson is there. Does that make you a Liam Lawson fan?
No, it's so weird. I just love Yuki.
Yeah.
I love Yuki. I love Hajar. Now they're kind of breaking up the Baby Bowls.
Yep.
I'm still going to pull for Yuki very hard, and I think I'll pull for Lawson. I feel bad for the guy.
I do too.
I think he got a promotion, and he just didn't do well with it. Wasn't given a lot of time. Let's dig into that a little bit. So,
yes.
A little bit from the way I understand it, from talking to Boogie off camera, is that there was a board meeting between the higher ups, like a Red Bull investment, basically the CEO of corporate projects, Oliver Mitzloff. So he's not just with F1. He's like, I'm the brand of Red Bull.
Of Red Bull.
He's going to meet with Christian Horner, team principal, and Helmut Marko.
Old Helmut.
And we know Helmut's the old guy who's kind of with, he develops the younger racers.
Yes.
So they met in Dubai after 2 races, talking about Liam hasn't produced. What do we do? What do we do? I think the reason that there was such a knee-jerk reaction is because Honda's waving that money.
I think so too. It's $10 million.
Yes, they're already giving a $10 million sponsorship to Red Bull.
Yep.
They said if you put Yuki in that seat, this was last year.
This was last year to start this year.
Start this year, we'll throw you another $10 million. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, we want to go with Lawson. We're not going to let you buy us.
Yep.
After 2 races, the thought comes, the board meeting comes, you got a CEO who's all about the bottom line, all about his stockholders, and he says, okay, guys, is Lawson going to be here in 3, 4, 5 races? We can give him a couple more, but do we just take this $10 million, get that goodwill from Honda, produce a bigger name for Red Bull than we already have in Japan? He's thinking about the company. I'm sure Oliver Mitzloff does not give a shit about the Formula One team. He cares about the Red Bull brand as a whole.
Oh yeah, that's all he cares about right now, and that's why it was just such knee-jerk reaction to swap the drivers out. In my
I agree.
opinion.
I would say 100% knee-jerk, but between Liam Lawson sounding panicked and between Honda saying, here's 10 million reasons, euros, to do it now, and then it's the perfect storm if now give Yuki his home track, let the Japanese boy shine in Japan. I don't know. I mean, it all makes sense. It sucks that Lawson had to find out the way they did, because they had this little private meeting that no one's supposed to know about, and then this little Dutch reporter finds out about it, and instead of confirming with the teams...
No, he announces it. So it's all over social media 2 days before Red Bull officially announced it. That's got to be demoralizing for the driver.
But Red Bull didn't intend for that information to get out. How this guy, what was his name? I had it written down here. Jackie Martins of a small paper in Netherlands.
Yeah.
He was somewhere, talked to someone. Maybe there's guys getting shit-faced at a bar. He overhears it.
Yeah, it could have been even like a pit crew guy announced it to somebody. You never know.
It leaks.
Yeah, it'll leak.
And Red Bull probably wasn't even for sure that's what they were going to do, because it was 2 days prior to them announcing it. Liam finds it out. They can't backtrack just because it got leaked. They have to stick with it. So it's unfortunate for Lawson, but it's not really Red Bull's fault or Lawson's fault. It's this Jackie Martins, who you have to understand.
He's got to
do it.
He's the first one to break that story.
Nobody knows who this guy is. Now he's suddenly Who's the guy in football that announces everything? I'm drawing a blank on that.
Joe Buck?
No, it's
Scheffler. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler.
Not Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, not
He's
Scotty.
a golfer.
Scotty Scheffler's a golfer. I can't remember that guy's name. And I don't even
It'll
play
come
golf.
back.
I don't even play golf.
Adam Schefter.
Adam Schefter.
Adam Schefter.
See, very...
Not Scotty Scheffler. But Adam Schefter is always, he's the one who everyone trusts to break the news. So this guy wants to get a name made for himself. So he's like, I'm just a small-time paper guy. Maybe this will put me on the map. Maybe people will think I'm a dick for doing it, but this is my career. So I get him doing it.
Let me ask you this. Now, does this... So Sonoda comes in. He tanks. I'm just speculating. He tanks the next 2 races.
Okay. Which is probably going to happen.
Which could potentially happen. What do? Do you do a swap back? I mean, or are they doing this because Honda's gone, and if Yuki shits the bed all year, now Yuki's gone. Keep Lawson. Yuki is no longer an F1 driver for Red Bull, and now he's gone next year. I don't know.
I mean, I don't see how this doesn't happen. I mean, Lawson struggled so much. All the prior races have struggled. Perez, Ricardo, you can go back all through the line. How is Yuki not going to struggle in this? I mean, it'd be a miracle if he didn't. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah. Here's another thing, too. Horner, remember, when we did talk about this, and my number 1 person to put in this seat last year was Franco Colapinto.
Yes.
And Horner came out and said his number 1 choice was Franco Colapinto. Second choice was Liam Lawson.
And he's the team principal, so why doesn't he get that call?
So he'll get the call, but he'll be able to actually say, this is what I want, but that doesn't mean that has to be the call that is made.
So there's obviously regret there, but they don't know what Colapinto would have done.
But I love Franco Colapinto, and potentially he's in there, he shits the bed, and he's gone. He's going to be back in Alpine anyway, I think. So, it's a storm.
So is this a possibility? Lawson goes back with VCARB, does decent. He's in the points occasionally. There's no reason to get rid of him. He keeps his seat there. Yuki's a disaster with Red Bull. Does Yuki get canned? Lawson keeps his seat with the Baby Bulls, and then Colapinto can get signed by Red Bull?
Potentially, but that would only happen if Jack Doohan finishes the season, which I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah, but with these contracts in F1, couldn't Red Bull buy out his contract?
Could, but I don't see it. I don't think that's going to happen.
They got 10 million euros to let Yuki race now. That's some extra money they could use to buy out some contracts.
So here's some other news, too. Max Verstappen was not happy about this. Max Verstappen is not happy about the car.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rumors, which makes no sense to me, but there's a lot of rumors of Max potentially going to Mercedes. Now, Aston Martin was the first one. Now it's Mercedes. And they're not talking Mercedes, George Russell, and Max. And Max. They're talking Max and Antonelli. Max and Antonelli in that Mercedes car.
Where would Russell go?
I would assume that you'd have to go to Red Bull, right?
So you just do like a floppy flop?
Yeah, because his contract's not done. He's waiting for money, which he deserves.
I mean, he's frustrated. I saw that he liked a post that someone...
Yeah, that somebody put that it was
bullshit.
It was bullshit that
lost
this happened. Yeah.
And then I saw Hulkenberg liked it too.
Yeah, Hulkenberg, I think Piastri liked it, and Gasly liked it.
Yeah, but Piastri pulled back his like.
Did he? He's
Yeah.
like, better not. I don't want to be on
Gasly
that.
didn't care. Hulkenberg's like, I've been doing this forever. I don't care what you think about me. And Hulkenberg has a huge social media presence. And I think Max can do whatever he wants. And he's like, screw this. I like this guy. It's a tough car to drive. Give him more than 2 races. But I think Piastri, McLaren probably says, dude, stay out of this. Yeah. We're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Stay out of this drama with Red Bull.
His handler was like, stop that immediately. So
to reiterate, you think Lawson's going to outperform Yuki?
Yes.
Do you think that Helmut Marko, the old man that's developing these young drivers for Red Bull, do you think he's destroying that second seat for Red Bull?
Potentially, yes. I mean, they're supposed to develop young drivers.
I mean, you have to do it. Someone has to do it. Do you think he's not taking enough advice from Christian Horner? Do you think this is almost a sabotage to get Christian Horner out of team principal? If he wanted Colapinto, and they say no, and now they're flip-flopping these guys around. Now it looks like a disaster, which Horner's the one that you see on TV every week at the race. So it almost looks like it's his fault, even though these aren't his decisions.
No, It's a lot of drama. I love it.
It's a soap
love
opera
it.
for men.
Yes.
It's like wrestling, F1.
Soap opera for dudes.
Yeah, it's the off-the-track stuff that's almost sexier and more fun than the actual race.
So predictions?
Predictions for
Japan. So let's do one of our predictions. I think should already be, does Yuki finish in the points, which I say no.
Okay.
And the other portion of that is, does Lawson finish ahead of Yuki in the V-Carb?
Okay, so go. You're saying Lawson ahead of Yuki?
Lawson ahead of Yuki.
Okay.
And Yuki not finishing in the top 10 in his first
What
race.
about Lawson? Will Lawson finish in the points with V-Carb?
That would be huge. Imagine that. I mean, that's a real big FU if he finishes in the points and Yuki doesn't. So I'm going to say yes.
Ooh, I am going to go the complete opposite. I'm going to flip-flop what I said earlier. I'm going to say Yuki finishes ahead of Lawson.
Okay.
Lawson gets a DNF in the V-Carb. Whether it's his fault or not, maybe there's some sabotage. Maybe
Yuki goes backwards and runs into him.
No, Yuki's like under the car before the race and like disconnects something. And I'm going to say Yuki finishes in the points.
Okay.
In surprising fashion, gets the love from Japan.
Okay. Race winner. We both went Piastri. We were 100% on that one last week.
Both went Piastri and he won.
So
You go first.
I'll go
think about
first.
this.
Mainly because Norris is just better at this track. I go Norris on this one. He's just better at this. There's certain tracks that Norris just dominates on,
Okay.
and I think that he's going to finish number one.
So you have Norris.
Yeah. I think, again,
Do you have a double McLaren podium? Do you have Piastri on the podium with Norris?
I don't know, because George has been killing it. Maybe he goes from that third place finish that he can't, and maybe gets that second place this week. So I'm going to say maybe a Ferrari. So I'm going to go McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari podium.
Okay.
I'm going to say that.
I like the little variety pack. It's very colorful.
Yeah.
I am going to say that George Russell
Wins the race?
wins the race.
Because you feel bad about not giving him credit, so you're giving him a lot more.
A lot
now.
more. He deserves the credit. Now, I'm in Red Bull because of all the drama and the Yuki and the Lawson, so I have to be representing that today. But I have been big on George Russell. I hate the disrespect. He's finished in third every race. I think he steps forward. I think he's going to do well. I don't think he's going to finish on the pole. I think he's going to somehow finish maybe in qualifying second.
Okay.
He's going to finally pass. I think it's going to be a Mercedes and then McLaren. It's going to be an all M&M
Yeah.
podium. But I think he's going to get his desserts in Japan.
Number one rookie. The rookie you think that's going to
Hajar's finally going to do it.
Hajar does it. Okay.
Hajar.
So,
Hajar's finally, and he might finish. He could finish 12th and be the top finishing rookie. But I think he's going to finish. I know who you're going to go with.
I'm going to go with Antonelli.
You have to. Antonelli's
gotta
the
go with
obvious
Antonelli.
choice.
Yeah.
But what, are we going to agree on everything here? This is going to be the boring show ever.
Yeah, you got to disagree. I think though, maybe Behrman. So I'm going to go Antonelli.
I do like that only because he sips on his water and says ciao.
Yes.
It's the only reason I love Barron. I hate him because he's on Haas, and I hate Haas. But
Alpine points. Do they get points this week?
Yes.
No, and I think that this could potentially be the last race for Jack Doohan. So we might be talking about Franco Colapinto next week.
Well, I don't say Doohan's going to be in the points, but I think Gasly is.
Okay.
I think Gasly finishes in the points.
I hope he finished 10th, so then we have every team has at least a point.
I think Gasly's going to finally get points for Alpine. I think Yuki's going to sneak in there. I think Hajar's going to sneak in there. Russell's going to be up top. And then I think by the end of the week, I think McLaren still has a stronghold on the Constructors.
On the Constructors' Cup, for all of you that think it's not a cup.
I believe
it looks
it's
like one.
the
Constructors Championship.
Championship trophy, but we're going to call it a cup because we're hockey guys, so everything's a cup.
We play hockey, so it's a cup.
It's going to be the Lombardi Cup.
Lombardi Cup.
Yeah, all cups. So McLaren's still up top, obviously. I mean, they're 19 points ahead.
McLaren up top.
Mercedes makes it tighter, or no? I say they can't. Even with George Russell winning, with 2-3 coming from McLaren.
Well, it all depends on if Antonelli can continue to perform like he has been, because if he can get in the top 6, that's still pretty good.
Okay.
That'll keep him up there. That's going to keep him above Red Bull. Now, does Ferrari put 2 people up and potentially move past Williams and start threatening Red Bull?
I think so. I
think so.
Well, you said Ferrari's going to be on the podium. Who would you say if you had to pick that 3? Is that going to be Leclerc or is that going to be Hamilton?
Leclerc.
Leclerc?
Yeah.
I'm saying another disastrous 5-6 6-7 week for Ferrari. That's why I don't even have them on the podium. I think they're going to climb past Williams into that 4th spot.
You don't think they're going to pass Red Bull yet?
No.
Okay.
No. I think Verstappen's still going to finish in the top 4 or 5.
He's just such a good racer.
Yeah, he's always going to be there. So
all right.
What other news for Japan?
By the way, really quickly, sorry. It's his birthday, so I just want to say happy birthday.
Aw, it's my birthday today.
I meant to say that in the beginning. I totally forgot. But I got nothing else. I think we pretty much wrapped her up.
I love it. Happy
Join
birthday
us next
to
week.
me.
Happy birthday to him.
Love you.
Follow us on YouTube at the United States of F1, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at United States F1. Copyright Brugman Media Limited 2025.